Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Road to Title series, where me, as an adult learner, am trying to get a title. So, we have exciting news. I'm representing Team Alberta next month in the BC versus Alberta match. There's going to be multiple titled players in that tournament, and I'm really excited to just get the experience, gain some rating maybe as one of the lower seeds, and hopefully go for a nice run. But today specifically, I kind of want to go and dive deep into the analysis of two games I played against two master players recently. I know I'm hitting the big leagues now, and so as I'm approaching 1800 FIDE and national rating, these games were a part of my plan of operation of showing you guys what we're down for. So let's get into it. My first opponent was no other than FIDE Master Ejmail Asafardeh. And this guy was like an Iranian chess champion, like back in the 90s and 70s. He's the three-time Olympiad player and legend of the game. He recently moved to Canada, uh, as I believe because of the recent war that's been going on. But a fantastic chess player. I mean, this guy is just amazing for his age. Anyways, I got paired up against him in, I think, the final round of a Grand Prix tournament that I was playing in. And I had back-to-back wins. And so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's play against him. Let's go and just play our normal stuff. And so I play my typical E4. As you guys know, I'm an E4 player through and through. I have been experimenting a little bit with other openings as well, but we'll see how it goes. He plays a Sicilian. We go into our Sicilian prep, and we played a delayed Alpine Sicilian. And right about here, I was thinking either maybe d4 or d3. And looking back at this now, I think I should have played d3, which is a little bit less committal and less theoretical because then you can try and build up a bigger center and not have to deal with the d4 right away. But I go for d4 anyway because I know this line of theory. We get takes, we get castles. I push for d5. He goes here and now goes into the extremely deep theoretical part of this opening. I play bishop to b3, which saves my bishop out of the way. But also it walks into the trap of knight takes e4, queen e1, and now I get to, attack these two knights and basically be up the knight. But the position is very difficult because what black can do is he can sack the knight. I have to take, and then he goes here. And for example, when he played knight takes f2, you can see I spent like 8 minutes on this move, which isn't very good, which isn't good at all. And he's like theoried out. He's already at a minute 32, and at this point, I'm like, oh no, what do I remember from this theory? I can either take the knight here, or I can take the knight here, and taking the knight close to the king is better. And then he goes here, and then I had to think, is it better to play knight e or queen e2, queen e1, queen e3? Both queen e2 and queen e3 are very popular, but queen e2 is considered the best move. And then he plays e4. And this is where my theory runs out. We're 14 moves into this game, and I'm expected to fall at least now. Because basically I saw, okay, this is a free pawn, but this is the attack that's coming from black. And we're just going to go through this line. Here's what I thought. If takes, there is knight takes bishop, rook takes, and bishop here. And I saw this and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be losing one of my rooks in the exchange. And the only move to save this position is knight b2, and then there's like a load of attacks. The queen just comes out like this, and apparently I can't do much of anything. I'm just kind of helplessly. Yes, I'm up the knight temporarily, but he has 4 pawns to my 2, and so now I kind of be having to deal with imbalances, which I'm not that great in doing, if you know what I mean. It's just one of those openings that can be super theoretical if you don't know all the theory. And what happened was I should have spent more time on this, should have calculated through this, but I'm an hour and 16 to an hour and 28, and I don't know what I was doing. I think I just forgot. I was like, okay, I can't let this happen. And if I go like knight to c3, he takes, I take, life's good. And I was fine with this and takes. This is what I calculated. In fact, I thought after knight here, there's takes, 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 takes. I'm, the position might be opened a little bit, but I'm fine with that. I'm just going to bring all the rest of my pieces into the game. And so I played knight c3. And as you can see, the evaluation bar goes completely down because he's just up the exchange after takes, takes, and takes, takes. And so he's just up the pawn. And when you're up the pawn in these Sicilians, you're just not gonna be doing well. My king is now more exposed than his, and he just has a perfect position. And now he goes for the attack. I bring my bishop back. I tried to bring my rook in and bring my knight in, but it's just fully attacked. I tried to, get a really aggressive, play g4. I played this opening very quickly after I had lost my piece. Like, after this move, I played quickly after that and kind of didn't think much. I just traded. I was just down another pawn. I was just pushing. Oh, yeah, I had to bring this back, which is just extremely awkward. And then he just attacked me on all sides. I had to move my queen out of the way. And I basically am just down 3 pawns. And by the time the game it's over. It's pretty much over. I have no attack. I play this and I resign after king h8. I thought there was one more idea that I could have had if he maybe brought his king up. I had rook sacrifice, and then there's like mate, which is hilarious. The funny thing about this is, like, if he were to go here and rook takes, he can literally just play king h8, and he's fine. He literally doesn't even need to take the rook. This is the only trap I had in the book. But he's a FIDE master. He's rated 2230 something on FIDE. This is just his natural rating, so please just ignore that because it's still new. He's coming to Canada. He's got a new national rating. So, but yeah, well, like, what a game. I mean, this was just insane. But it was a great experience, and as a result, I got a lot of, encouragement from him. And he was like, dude, you played really well. You just need to, you know, dive into the theory a little bit more, and you'll be good. Because 14 moves of theory is a lot of theory, especially for me who plays this type of Sicilian a lot. And yeah, it was a very fun game. But the next game is even more wild. I played against no other than Eric Hansen's old coach, Roy Yearwood, who is a legend of the game, and pioneered Eric, and he knew of, I think, Amon as well. So shout out to the chess bras out there. This is their old coach, and Roy is like a legend of the game. He's like an Alberta chess champion, and he's a national master. And so Roy kind of does everything. Roy goes into absolutely everything. He's been playing everything for years. But online, I take a look at his online games, and he plays d6 against anything. Absolutely anything. And for me, who just doesn't like d6, like, he plays like d6 and like knight f6. I don't know what the reason why, but he just does, and he doesn't play like a mainline Pirtz. You would think he would, but after looking into like e6 and, like, playing this, he just plays c6, and I actually kind of have some trouble against it. So I might have to dive into that theory more. So I played knight c3, and the funny thing about knight c3 is that it's super, super transposable. And this is what I like. You can literally play d4, e4, or you can go into like some sort of f4 line. Like, I don't know. You can do anything with knight c3. If you get something like this, you can transpose into pretty much anything. This is basically a waiting move for either d4 or e4. Or even something different. Maybe you can play something like a Kali system or something. I don't know. Anyways, he plays d6. So this was completely normal. I played d4, and I kind of made a Jabava-esque setup. I haven't played d4. Like, I never played d4. And so playing this kind of setup was kind of new to me. But I still kept to the principles. He struck in the center. I moved my bishop, and then I moved my bishop again. The position's quite even, and then he plays c6. And I mean, this is what happens when you don't know the position well, and when you play like this kind of setup. Computer says long castles, and honestly, I think I should have. I should have just long castle, just kept to it. But I was like, if I long castle, he's gonna play queen h5. He's just gonna start rumbling his pieces this way. I didn't like that right off the bat. I wanted to give myself options. Maybe I should have played knight f3. I mean, that was my second option. But I came to the conclusion of like, okay, well, if I want to play with, grace and poise, I kind of have to, start attacking some pieces. And so I play knight to e4, and this is not right. Like, this isn't right because now your king is going to get checked and your pieces are going to start getting exposed. And he plays queen a5. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'll just play c3. Nothing crazy. Takes. And then he played the most diabolical move I have ever seen. And he played bishop to a3. I said to him, Roy, what is bishop to a3? Now, apparently on some engines, it literally gives this move a brilliant, which is hilarious. But I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, the point of this is if pawn takes bishop, there's just a fork of the king and the king and the rook, right? It just got really weird, and I was like, okay, maybe I try to be a little bit more aggressive with him and say, basically tell him that this move is stupid. I don't think this move is correct. And so I played b4. Which isn't correct, but is a lot more aggressive. And take a look at the time. I have an hour and 13. He has an hour 11. We're 13 moves in. Roy spent, I kid you not, the best move. Because he probably was thinking, oh my goodness, my bishop's trapped. This game was entirely psychological. But my idea was, if I kick the queen out, I have a better chance of trapping his bishop and maybe, being up a piece potentially. I don't know. I'm kind of slow. Like, my rook can't be there fast enough. I could bring my knight in and castle, but there's no concrete plan to get the bishop, but only just temporarily trapping it, I guess. Like, you can break out with like a5 and c5. This is what I had thought about. But after he played queen d5, Roy went from an hour and 11 to 55 minutes on the clock. And so now I had to think a little bit more. I was thinking, okay, what should I do? Should I just start the attack and play queen g4? Because why not? Or should I just trade off? And I decided to go for the queen g4 route. Computer says this, but like I said, queen g4 is a lot more aggressive. It attacks this, it attacks this. It basically says rook d1 is coming. Then I was planning to go knight e2 and castle. Like, it wasn't so easy. Apparently, the best move here is bishop to b2, in which after rook d1, I saw this, and then after here, I saw queen b5, and I thought, oh, I can just run my king out, and I'm fine. And if you don't have an engine, yeah, this looks completely insane. But somehow it's all right. I looked at this and I said, you know what? I'm all right. The only thing that's coming is like these pawns, but there's nothing really protecting. He still has to deal with this threat. Like, he can't castle because my bishop's here. And so, I mean, this is kind of what we got, right? This is what I saw. I saw, this is fine. I think he's not going to calculate this long into it. And of course, that he spent another long time, a long think. And he played f6. So he's down to 34 minutes on the clock. Like, this game was clearly psychological. I made it difficult. b4 is a mistake, and queen g4 is a mistake, but it's not easy because white's got counterplay, and it's it. And I have a faster time of maybe castling this way. Okay, he could castle this way, but you're losing a piece, right? So there's so many different things. There's so many different things going on. He plays f6. I give him a check, he goes back, and then I play queen c2. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's a possibility that I can somehow win his bishop. But it's not so clear. And once again, after I play this, he plays a5, which is the correct response. And so, white is not in a great position, but neither of us are castled. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to fight to the bitter end. Let's go rook b1. At least when we take, everything's going to be fine. We get take, knight to b6. I play knight to e2. He starts to bring here his knight in, maybe collect up a pawn. And I'm thinking, I don't want him to be up the pawn. And so I just push. Now this is wrong. And the reason why this is wrong is because I thought, okay, you know what? He can give me a check. I can go king f1. I'm fine. But this is what I calculated. I completely forgot the calculation. I only calculated 2 moves in, and I should have calculated a third move in, because after bishop b4 and king f1, he has a very nice rook takes a2. Which is a beautiful move. An absolutely beautiful move. And this is the kind of chess, this is why he's a national master, because he's able to find stuff like this. And I'm like, ooh, I should have maybe looked into this a little deeper, I only calculate 1 or 2 moves in, and then I'm like, uh-oh, I'm not great. Because I'm not very good tactically, but I'm very good when it comes to solid positions that I can easily, play with. I'm more of like a Capablanca. I'm more like a Karpov. I'm more solid in that stance. I never go for super aggressive games and super wild games like this. So I played queen to b3. I know I'm completely losing. He plays takes. And I thought, okay, this is completely fine. I mean, there's rook check. There's queen check. He's going to collect the bishop. And stuff like that. But then I also said, oh, wait, there's just this. And after I saw him taking back, I thought, after all the exchanges are done, maybe I can get away with this. So here, he gives a check. I go back. He takes. This is the wrong takes. What he should have done is played queen to g6 and attack this even more. But that's a hard move to find, right? I mean, that's kind of an incredibly hard move to find, especially for an older guy. And just so you know, he's down to 14 minutes. After he takes here, I made the wrong takes. I had either bishop or knight, and I don't know what, I think I was rushing. I think I saw his clock, and I'm like, he's got 14 minutes. Maybe, because he's slow, maybe I can try and run him out. So I played knight, and then I completely forgot about queen c4 check. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm now down a full piece. And the pawn. This is not good. And after this, I takes, I give a check. I realized to myself, wait a minute. Look at the time. 13 minutes to 33. Maybe with how slow he's playing, maybe I can squeeze something. And here's the thing. I heard something in my soul say, keep going. Don't give up. Stay resilient. And I did. I kept going. I start asking questions. Hey, maybe I can give a check here or here. He brings his king up. I bring my king up. He gives me a check. He's down to 12 minutes. I play e4. He goes here trying to trade off the queens. You keep all your pieces on the board. He goes here. He's down to 9 minutes. Rook b1. He goes here. He's down to 8 minutes. He pushes. I don't even take his pawn. I play g4. When I tell you g4 is the pinnacle part of this game, you will understand. He goes c5. He's down to 6 minutes. Starts thinking, I bring my rook here. He brings his rook. I move my rook out of the way. He starts pushing. I push myself. I'm causing all these types of problems. This. Like you can't get too comfortable here, right? He goes here. I go king back because I'm like slightly panicking. I like the nerves are hitting. I was thinking like, oh, I don't want him to like check and then mate me kind of thing. I don't know what I was thinking here. He should have just went c2, but he must have panicked and he looked at the clock. He spent 2 minutes on Ricky G. I was like, oh my gosh, he's panicking, and so like he's slow. But I was like, okay, king f1. Maybe we can try and get closer to this pawn. Maybe we can try and save ourselves. He goes here. I go rook back. He goes check. I go rook to d1. He goes here. He's got 3 minutes on the clock. Yo, when I told you I couldn't believe when he didn't play like c2, I was like, what? Like nothing made sense. But he's panicking. He's low on time. And you'd think, oh, you got 30 seconds. You can easily convert this. When the nerves are hitting and the age starts to like become a factor. It's real. It's so real. I played queen g4 as a last ditch effort, and I had something so sneaky with queen g4, and he's down 3 minutes. His time. I just remember his time. His time just keeps dropping. I was like 2 minutes, 1 minute. He looks at the clock. 17 seconds on the clock. And he plays queen c2. He played queen c2 and blundered mate in 3. And my heart dropped. I said, oh my gosh. No way it worked. I played g6. And the game was over. Like, he flagged on time. I was shocked. I was like, just move your king out of the way. Just try not to flag on time. But it's too late. Like, but by the time I played g6, the whole room was quiet. And people were like, oh my gosh, there's no way this happened. And anywhere you move your king, queen check. And what's even crazier, like, I think what you could do, you can go here. And then, like, you have to go back. And you just, yeah. It's insane. And you win by mate, which is just insane. I don't even know how I was able to pull this off. But we get our first title win. And to be fair, this game was just insane. I mean, yeah, like, I don't even know how I won, but there was an idea of staying resilient and keep going. And titled players are so tricky. They are this is the reason why they're titled. They know their stuff. Like, he played very unconventional, but I tried to stick with it, and I played something that I was not familiar with, and I ended up getting hunted down mercilessly. He just had a better position than I did. I mean, he didn't castle, but yeah, and he just had a better position, and he wasn't fully accurate, but I mean, this game was wild. This was the most wild game, and I somehow won. But these titled players, I'm gonna be playing more of them. They're exciting. It's exciting chess, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So thank you guys for watching. More titled games coming soon. These guys are insane. These guys are insane. I'm super excited. My rating continues to go up. I believe it is at it's almost 1800 FIDE, and I'm 2 points off 1800 national, which is just insane. I don't even know how. It's a miracle that I'm peaking continually after each and every classical tournament. I mean, sometimes I swindle games, sometimes I just have super solid games, sometimes I just don't even know what's going on and I somehow win or I lose. And that's the beauty of chess. Like, this is why I love playing over the board chess. I mean, it's so much fun and I enjoy a lot. Anyways, the series continues. We are getting closer and closer and closer, but it's probably going to keep getting harder and harder and harder. So until then, I will talk to y'all later. Love and peace to y'all.